Hey there, folks. Iridium T here, and welcome back to Game of Fortune. In the last part, we were back on the hike, but Devin took the second tent this time, and now Maria has the third tent. So I don't already know how this game goes, but let's just keep rolling with it. Also, Devin is hurt, whereas last time Kishi was hurt. Person who took that second tent. Anyway, my sight to behold almost makes this whole thing worth it, I think. I think that you'd have to show me the pearly gates of heaven to make me think that this hike was worth it. Be careful what you wish for. Anyway, there should be a tent around here, right? So, look for a few seconds. We found Kishi standing by what looked to be the last tent of the hike. Yo, Kishi! Finally found yourself a tent! Mm-hmm. He mournfully looked at the tent before turning to look out at the landscape again. Why the long face? Oh, it's nothing, really. I just found out that my suspicions were confirmed. I walked over towards the tent and inspected the screen. Number of votes needed? 4. This tent requires 4 votes to unlock? Seems so obvious in hindsight. Wait, really? But that doesn't make sense. First tent required 3. The tent in the desert required 2. Tent in the swamp needed 1, so shouldn't this tent require 0? That would make sense. But I think what happened is that the order of the tents is just scrambled. Look at the land. It's a loop. Counts from 1 to 4. It's just that we didn't start at 1. We started at 3 and worked our way down. Kishi pointed out to each of the landscapes as if to highlight her explanation. That's not fair! How are we supposed to figure that out? Because Belle told us. What? When did you do that? Right before we played the game. So what happens if you get to stay in one of the tents? Do you just get sent over to the lounge, or does something else happen? You'll stay there for a while. After all, you'll still be able to communicate with the others. Oh, you won't be able to vote anymore. It seems a little too simple. What's the catch here? I'm sure you'll figure it out quickly, but that's all you really need to know. I'm sure if you all make the grand journey together, everything will be fine. No way. She basically told us how to survive right at the get-go. Seems to be the case. Ichi walked over beside the tent, pointing to a sign that had a button on it. It read, "Welcome to the summit. This game will end if you press this button. Please note that if you are not in the tent 4 minutes after the button is pressed, you will die as the world crumbles around you. It will also end automatically 10 minutes after all eligible participants have entered their tents. Hope you've enjoyed your lovely hike. You're gracious, a lovely, beautiful, and fortunate host, Belle." Mir kicked the sign over in frustration. Bullshit, this ain't fair. Do you get it? This whole game was just a series of tests and trials to see how far we all go. If we could all make it. Every location was uncomfortable or dangerous. Made the idea of puzzling a tent all the more appealing. Numbers going down each time made it seem like it would be fun to be able to stay behind, not worry about whether anyone else would be able to survive. However, that temptation even once, and someone was bound to die. I guess we didn't see that clearly enough right at the start. It should have been obvious. Even the tablets are just meant for us to be able to communicate with one another so we can get the test before the button is pressed. We were so close. Laura had entered a tent, then we could have kept going together. Don't blame her. We were the ones that sort of pushed her into that tent anyway. Well then, what are we gonna do? What do you mean, what are we gonna do? You two are gonna have to hike back to your tents and I'll stay up here. Then when you're all safe, I'll press the button and the game will end. But then, you're just going to die. Well, it's not like there's anything else I can do. I'm to peace with my inevitable death. You three can carry on ahead and I'll just do whatever needs to be done. Alright then, if that's what's gonna happen, then that's all there is to it. Yep, so good luck with the hike back down. Hopefully you can find a path that's safer going down than going up. Last time I saw Kishi alive. We didn't know each other that long, and not too long ago I hated her more than anything else. Now I can't help but feel a pang of sadness in knowing that she be gone. What's with that look? You better not be blaming yourself again. I'm not. I just wanted to say thank you. Sending a hand out to her. Sorry that things turned out this way. Kishi looked over at my hand, smiled, and gave me a firm handshake. Me too, but hey, it's not so bad. There's always next time. Next time, huh? You'll figure it out. Just remember your promise, okay? No matter how bad things get, don't let anyone break you. I won't. Never again. I won't keep you. Maria, please make sure that Devin gets to her tent safe and sound. You don't have to tell me twice. Oh, do you know about this whole thing back at the swamp tent? I had an inkling this is how things were going to go. So, take care of Devin in my absence, will you? Make sure nothing bad happens to her. Of course. Let's go, Devin. I think there's a separate path we can take since the bridge is out. Alright, let's go. I gave Kishi one last parting glance before walking down the mountain with Maria. Kishi looked as though she were at peace. Sad, but at peace. It was so strange how she seemed to be able to be so composed at times and tough as a drill sergeant in others. Maria and I walked in silence until we managed to make our way back down from the mountain. We were heading back towards the swamp. But at this time, there weren't any annoying bugs, at least none that I could see or feel biting me. You alright, Maria? You've been looking pretty pissed for a while now. Sorry, guess I was just thinking about Kishi. I never figured that she'd be so selfless. I can't tell if it's an act or if she's genuine. Why would it be an act? Because she's part of the Digits of Eden! Right. She's a granddaughter of someone in charge, after all. Well, I don't trust them. They're schemers that try and manipulate people. You know, like a cult. They prey on people's insecurities, try and reel them in when they're at their weakest. I'd be surprised if she's trying to get on your good side just to be more willing to join them. You really think that? Of course I do! I've seen them do it time and time again. I know how these kinds of people can easily hook someone into joining them with just a few kind words. Maybe Kishi's different. Maybe she's not actually all that interested in working with Digits of Eden, but even so, I didn't trust her to go with you and Laura alone. That's the reason I kept insisting on going along, in case Kishi was alone with either of you. That's the reason. It was because of your superhuman resilience. Well, that too. I just really didn't want either of you getting hoaxed into joining them is all. Nothing good could come out of it. I assure you that much. So you know from personal experience. Maria grew quiet as she looked down at the ground. I saw a flicker of intense rage show on her face. Yeah. A heavy sigh before patting her cheeks to compose herself. Anyway, just watch out for anyone making grand promises to you, okay? In case she really meant well, only wanted you to get out of your mental funk, then that's good. I only hope you didn't get targeted by anyone else here. Are there people here who work for the Digits of Eden? I think Ever and Theresa do, but don't quote me on that. If either of them say anything to you about it, just brush them off, alright? Well, trust me, I'm not gonna be taking shit from anyone anymore. Even from a mean old crocodile? Well, maybe not that. I figured. Oh, I think this is my stop. We lifted the tent that was coming into view. It's as cozy looking as I remember. Huh. Guess I won't be alive if Kishi didn't vote for me to survive. Back then, I thought she was just trying to get rid of me, but... Maria hummed herself as she approached the tent and then looked at the trail. Hey, the trail's a little different. Look, it elevates over the swamp this time around. Oh, right, yeah, we took... Yeah, I took the tent. Is Bill just trying to make things easier now we've made it through to the end? Maybe? Do you want to go solo or do you want me to escort you? I think I can make it. Alright, well, I'll see you when this is all over then. Yep, see you soonish? With that, Maria entered her tent and I went and walked along the trail until I made it back to the desert tent. Once I entered inside, I carefully sat down, pulled up my tablet, and texted Kishi. Hey Kishi, we all made it back to our tents. It took a few minutes for Kishi to respond back. Good. Just chatting with Laura and Maria. Glad to know that you all made it back safe. Press the button. I guess you'll be moving in around 4 minutes or so. Right. Thank you for everything, by the way. Don't mention it. These street games are challenging in a way that I don't think anyone typically expects. Even if you know about them, you can still get overwhelmed and terrified. Honestly, I think it's impressive you've got enough spirit to keep going. I think most people have crumbled after the first game. I know I did. You played these games before? Yeah, 4 years ago with Seth. I even knew how the games worked and all the rules, and I was so scared and terrified of everything. I don't know how I got out of there in one piece. Sometimes I think I didn't. How did you and Seth survive? Doesn't the game only have one winner? That's true, there can only be one winner, but losing doesn't mean it's the end of everything. You want the truth? If you want to survive, want Clyde to survive, then all you have to do is focus on winning. Do that, it'll all make sense. I know that you can do it, Devin. I'll believe in you all the way. Suddenly my head throbbed in pain. I pushed my head and rolled onto my back as it continued to ache. At the same time, I felt something odd about it, as if I heard those exact words. Even though I kept feeling pain, I felt a wave of relief and melancholy? As if the words both gave me a peace of mind and a sense of sadness. Eventually, the pain went away, but I couldn't help but wonder, why had those words evoked such feelings from me? Well, my time's almost up, so I guess I'll be signing off. Until next time, Devin. Good luck and good fortune to you. The tent began to shake violently. It was as if there was a terrible earthquake outside. The materials jolted and shook. I felt as though I was inside the drum of a dryer. I tumbled and tossed around until the world felt like an unsteady blur. Finally, the world was still and silent. I huffed as I carefully untangled myself from the mess that had been made inside the tent and looked toward the opening in the tent, which flapped weakly. The game must have ended, so I was meant to leave, right? I crawled out of the tent and I was in the hallway? I looked around and saw that there were 3 other tents here as well. Slowly, Maria and Laura crawled out of theirs as well. Are we done? I guess we are? Were we all shaken up before being allowed to leave? Yeah, I felt like a belle at a fundraiser. Did somebody say belle? Congratulations, each of you, for completing your journey through the game. Hopefully you all feel nice and refreshed. I have a very strange idea for what kind of hike is nice and refreshing. Oh, but you all looked like you were having fun! First the frozen lake, then the desert. We met my darling little friend in the swamp. If you think that thing was a friend, I'd hate to think what you consider an enemy. Are we free to go then? Of course! Just head on down the hallway and you'll be back at the lounge. What about Kishi? What about her? She didn't make it into a tent, so she's taking a bit of a dirt nap, if you catch my drift. Oh, did she die exactly? You really want the nitty-gritty details of all that? Yes? Wow! Who would imagine sweet Laura being the morbidly curious one of the group? Well, since you asked, I suppose I can show you the details. They'll snapped her fingers and pointed behind us. When we turned, we saw Kishi's corpse curled up in a ball on the ground. Bruises, cuts, and unnatural body positions. It's obvious that she had somehow been crushed to death. There you have it! Kishi's earth-shattered corpse. Like she got crushed by stones. Well, duh. She was on a mountain during the earthquake. Surely something bad was gonna happen to her. So, are you satisfied now? I'm not sure if satisfied is the word I'd use to describe this. Oh, I went through all the trouble bringing her here. Oh well, not everyone appreciates my hard work. They clapped her hands, and once again, and the body fizzed into a dark blue mist. That's me. Let me take care of those nasty injuries for you. Bell blew a kiss in our direction, and a light blue haze enveloped our injuries. Just like before, made them all back to normal. Now you should all be roaring and ready to go. Don't dally too long. The other groups are no doubt excited to see you again. Ta! Just like that, Belle vanished in a cloud of sparkling blue mist. Guess we should go and see what's waiting for us in the lobby, huh? There's nothing that we can do here after all. Right. Though I can't help but feel a little guilty over all this. Did Kishi fill you in on everything? Yes, how the tent needed 4 votes. Well, don't go off blaming yourself for that one. I'm not, but it's still exciting to know that we all could have survived. It's another lingering guilt, I suppose. All we can do is press on. That's what she'd want. I agree. I can't say I know her that well, but she seemed to have some kind of aura of stability. I'll miss it, but if she were here, I'm sure she'd be marching forward no matter what. Yeah, let's get as far as we can, for her. We all nodded in agreement and walked down the hallway towards the lounge. We went through the lounge, we looked around to see who else had survived. Everett and Theresa from the first group, meaning that Alphonse and Elizabeth had lost their game. Well, no, Elizabeth this time. No! And I saw Zeph, William, and Richard from the second group, so Philip must have died in the second game. So Al didn't make it, huh? Hate to say it, but it seems to be the case. Maria walked over to Everett and Theresa, who turned their attention over towards her. Hey, you two were in the game with Al. How'd the game go? Curious to see how your partner ended up dying at our hands. Where to begin? Let's start with... Theresa, can you please have some tact? Tact? She's asked me about our game. I was gonna go into excruciating detail. I'm sure she'd appreciate. I'm talking about, no one wants to hear the painful details of the person they care about. Au contraire! I love to hear the painful details of your death, Everett. Anyway, I already told the story to William, but it was a 2 versus 2 game, me and Theresa against Alphonse and Elizabeth. It's a game of laser tag, except that after getting hit enough times, you would expire. I'll tell you, Alphonse did a great job of covering for that old bag. The guy's a lot more maneuverable than you'd think. Of course, I didn't stop Everett from strong-arming him once Elizabeth was out of the picture. Theresa! Sorry, it was just so exciting seeing him fight to his last breath, cursing our names and everything we stood for. Truly inspiring. Can't say the same for Elizabeth, though. She just dropped dead like a sack of year-old potatoes. That sounds like Al. Definitely a fighter to the end. Well, glad you didn't go easy on him or give him some pathetic death. That'd probably been lame as hell. I bet he'd be more angry knowing you pitied him than giving it your all. Well, I'm glad you know that nothing happened in the game was personal. Figure. I just want to make sure is all. Thanks for clearing that up. While they're having their conversation, everyone from the second group approached Laura and me. Well, look who managed to survive. Everyone but Kishi. Oh, that was so sad, Zeph. You were so sure that she was going to survive. Silent, huh? What happened to bravado from before? William, if I were you, I'd stop before you said something you regret. What's he gonna do? Punch me in the face? Judging by the increasing anger he's trying to hold back, I'd say he's gonna punch you in the face, kick you in the groin, and then toss you into a wall. And I wouldn't blame him. All at once? Let's hope not. Before we turn this lounge in the backstage of WWE Raw, maybe we should calm down a bit? I'm calm. I'm fine. I just want to know what happened with Kishi is all. Oh boy, how to handle a tricky situation like this? Looked over to Laura, hoping she'd have a better way of de-escalating this than me. Thanks, Laura. Well, we basically went on this long hike and we had a vote who got to survive by going through these tents. Kishi had 4 votes in the last tent, and since... Now you want to look pissed at me? We already had people in tent, she wasn't able to enter the last one. Would have helped you if we could have, it just was something we didn't see coming. I don't think that they'd lie about something like this. Seth glared at me for a few seconds before letting out a heavy sigh as his shoulders sagged. Just bad luck then, huh? Did she at least go out peacefully? I think so. She seemed to have a sense of calm about her the last time that we talked. Gotcha. Well, as long as you didn't make her suffer or anything like that, I guess it's fine. That's how things go here. What's with that look? Oh no, I guess I just expect you all to be a bit more torn up about losing your partners. I mean, Deb and I were basically bawling our eyes out of the first game, and you 3 are just acting as if everything is fine and normal. Well, this ain't my first time going through this bullshit. Maybe I've become too desensitized to it, or maybe I've just figured out a way to cope through the pain. I'm tough as nails, slowly as it dies, and really something that's gonna break me down. I miss my dad, but I was prepared for this. Both knew that this would be something we could get out of easily. Guess you've all got a handle then, huh? You say that, but you look a little bit better yourself, you know. You think so? Maybe it's just me, but you seem a bit You're standing a little taller. I can see a glint of fire in your eyes. You got a bit of a pep talk. That's good. Determination, drive, or what's important here more than anything else. That and heart, I think? Can't remember where I heard that, though. Well, I've got all that in space now. I'm not gonna give up or let anyone tear me down. Good luck with that. You're only going to win if I let you. We'll see about that. We certainly will, because we're going to be picking new groups soon, I bet. Yeah, I guess we should go ahead and get that squared away, huh? Let's gather up. You all know the drill by now. It's time to split up into groups. People dying left and right. We can't just do easy pairs anymore, so we'll have to do the best with what we've got. Why are you talking like we're leftover scraps? Also, I'd like to mention that Ever and I are still together. That should be something to take into consideration. Or whatever makes you feel better. Anyway, who wants to go through the first door? I'll go through the first door. Everyone's eyes turn towards me. Gutsy! Someone's ready to get back into the fray, huh? Just, you don't see the point in waiting around. They'll have to play a game sooner or later. That's my last door in the last game. I've had enough of a rest. Yeah, whatever Belle throws at me. Hell yeah, that's the spirit, Devin. Got me in too. I'll go along the first door as well. Alright, so we got Devin and Maria in the first door. Anyone else want to join them? Yeah, why don't you go and join them? Are you volunteering me? Because I figure you'll have a lot of fun with them. Also, I'm kind of getting tired of you always clinging on to me like a desperate lover. I don't know why you used that smile. Or was it smile or simile? Hold up. Simile. Okay, it was simile. I just, like, I read smile. I'm like, wait a second, this is a smile. I thought it was fun. You're that annoyed by my presence, I suppose it's fine that I joined the first group then. Great, now all you need is one more person. Well, ain't gonna be me. You find some other sucker to join that group. What's the matter, Willie? Afraid that Everett's gonna crush you. Don't call me Willie. I'm not scared of Everett. It's just I don't want to have to hurt his ego by destroying him in the game is all. How considerate of you. Oh, I see what it is. You're afraid of Devin and Maria, is that it? But I'm obviously not worried about those two either. Oh yeah, I've got nerves of steel. Ain't nothing that's gonna scare me. Oh, Willie, you should really know when I'm throwing you a bone. The only reason you don't want to join that group is that you've got a little crush on Laura and you want to leave her alone, right? What? What the heck are you talking about? Excuse me? It's quite cute, isn't it? He's a charming woman. I can't help it. Let his heart take over for him. Not true at all. Stop spreading lies about me. I'm so flustered. There's no shame in finding someone like Laura attractive. Someone like me? You know, sweet, kind, motherly, a little on the older side, at least compared to William. What do they call those types of... Stop talking like you know all about my type and all that. Look, I'll join the first group. Just stop talking, alright? No! So cute, easy fool to know just the right buttons to press. Alright, so I guess that takes care of that. I'll leave Theresa, myself, Laura, and Richard for the second door then. Sounds like it'll be fun. Well, that's all settled, then shall we get going? Yes, we might as well. The group walked into the first door and the door closed behind us. I can't believe I got roped into this. You didn't have to. You could have just ignored Theresa. Ignore her? Did you hear what she was saying? Loud and clear. May you have to learn to just let her comments bounce off you. She enjoys just riling people up. If you give her a reaction, she's gonna keep going after you. Even if you say that, it's not like I can just ignore her. Why? Because she said what she says is actually true? No! It's not what I mean to say is... That's true. You really do have a thing for Laura. I did not say that. I didn't deny it either. I don't like her. We quit it with the teasing. He's right, Maria. It's not nice to tease someone about matters of the heart. He'll turn to the television screen to see Belle grinning ear to ear. Oh, I certainly do enjoy hearing about gossip. Hell, thank heavens you're here. You can tell him I don't have anything for Laura, right? Oh, you want me to dispel rumors? You have a little fondness for that lady? Yes, you're a god. Your word is the law, so they'd have to believe you. I think you're putting a little too much faith in how much we're willing to believe a word Belle says. It's right about one thing here. My word is law, but I'm not going to confirm or deny any feelings here. Keep teasing me. Well, when I get back at them in the next game, I'm sure you'll be able to make them regret it there. Oh, right. Next game. That's way more important. Contrary to what you think, we do not revolve our thoughts around you or your life, William. That's a real shame. Everyone should be thinking about me. The best, after all. We shall see, won't we? But for now, let's get to the fun part. Right, the fun part. Is that time? Let's start the roulette. Like all the other times, we're like flicked onto the screen and shifted through all our options. What do you think we'll get this time? Well, seeing as we're the first group, it could be anything. All the game types have an equal chance of being chosen. Not that it matters, because... because you're gonna win it all, whatever. Save your breath until you see what we're actually going to play. I've made it this far. You should give me some respect at least. Whatever you say. William mumbled to himself before turning his attention back over to the screen. It began to slow down and eventually came to an abrupt stop. All for one. Whoa! An all for one game! Talk about excitement! That means that there can only be one. Felt my heart sink. Only one person could survive. Everyone was a threat now. Everett, William, even Maria. Getting through one game where we all could have lived and get one where all but one are doomed to die. Took a deep breath and glared down at the ground. No point in breaking down now. I could do this. I had to do this. No matter how much it would hurt, I would get through this. I felt the lingering fear and panic in my chest burned away by the growing determination in my soul. I'll put everything I had into this, no matter what. So how about we get into the details of the game? Do you have something in mind already? Excuse me. I have a huge collection of games, always prepared. Well, how about we play Bandit King? Interesting name, but we don't turn us to become actual bandits. I make you a trapeze artist at the circus if I wanted to, Everett. Before that, let's go into the game room. Let's find the details of all the game in full there. See you soon. Well, this will be a first for me. I think it's a first for all of us here. This is perfect. A game like this will leave no doubt that I'm a certified threat. Or you're gonna end up dead and we'll sing about how quickly you fell when you had to actually try and win. Mock me all you want. I'll be the one singing when this is all over. Well, we'll find out when we play the game. You're right. Onwards to victory. Its confidence is both terrifying and charming. Only you could rein in that ego. I followed Everett and William to the game room, but Maria pulled me by my arm. You got a second? Well, yeah, until Bill kicks us into the game room, I guess. Cool! I just want to ask if you were alright? Fine, I'm just doing what I have to do. I'd be scared or angry or worried, but I just feel determined. Like this is just an obstacle that I can get through with enough grit. You really have toughened up a lot since the last game. Well, no, then I'm not going to hold back either. So whatever happens, let's at least not make it personal, alright? Yeah, whatever happens is just because it's a game. We nodded at one another before entering into the game room. What? When we entered the game room, we were surprised how simple it was. The table with a set of chairs around it. You know, I thought a game named Bandit King would be more extravagant than this. Yeah, what gives? I'm expecting something more exciting. What? What, a shootout or something? No, that's a different route, sorry. I felt a dull ache in my chest, but quickly shook it off as I looked around. It seemed to be a rather simple room, but this was Bill's game. No way it was simple. Expecting something a little more showy. Bill appeared in a puff of blue smoke sitting on top of the table and motioned for us to come closer with her finger. Sometimes Sometimes a game needs to be more about the rules and gameplay than actual details, like a thought experiment. No one actually bothers to actually put them into real practice. But these games we're playing are real. There's nothing theoretical about them. We're actually going to play whatever this Bandit King game is. Details, details! Let's get to playing now! Everyone take a seat. Sit down. We're gonna be strapped to them, aren't we? Or latched, or tied, or bound, or something like that. You're getting too smart for your own good. You know that? Don't ruin the surprise for the others. Wait, the chairs are gonna bind us? Don't act surprised. Build some worse things, I'm sure, than tie us down into a chair. I doubt the complaint about it is gonna get us out of it that anyway. Everyone was the first to sit down on one of the chairs, and Maria was quick to follow. Yeah, I'm sure the bell would threaten us or something we didn't play along. Let's just pretend to be surprised when it happens. Alright. Don't want to make Belle angry. Liam sat down in a chair, and after he did, I sat down in the remaining one. No one's surprised. We were bound by our torso to the chair with a metal strap. What the hell, Belle? It's fine. You don't have to act surprised. Not like I put a lot of work and effort into these games so that they're enjoyable. Oh, Belle. Don't pity her. She's literally making us kill one another. Expect us to be grateful? He's a god. It's probably a lot of work. He does make us kill one another. God, you were such a simp. You know that? I ain't no simp. I just... Oh, no need to get into a hissy fit over me. It's appreciated, but we're here to play a game. Let me explain the rules of Bandit King, and we can get rolling. Ahem. We'll find out the rules next time. Thank you for watching. I'm trying to find a good point, and I'm like, after the rules, before the rules, before the rules. We'll find them out next time. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. Really enjoyed it? Consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps to keep being content like this and more. I'll links for that in the description below, along with the links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching. And until next time, this is Rinium T signing out. Bye!